everyone. Today we are making
Lotsa candy bar blondies.
big batch recipe.
Yep, it's a big sheet pan of blondies.
It even says on the recipe card.
Yep. If
Oh,
you
there. I tried.
if you want to print out your own version of the recipe card, you can click the link below.
Or you can go to cookingwithcarly.com.
Yeah. Or you can Google Lotsa candy bar blondies. And it should probably come up. If not, you could put candy bar blondies Carly. Something. It'll happen. Or you could just pay attention here. So what we're doing here is this is a good recipe for if you have lots of
old Halloween candy, just any old candy.
Yeah, well, it doesn't have to be old, but if you have extra candy, it's a good way to use some up. So we went through, with Valentine's Day being recently, he still had some Halloween candy and Christmas candy and whatever. So we went through and kind of cleaned it out. And we're going to put the extras into blondies. And this is one of our favorite ways to use all that extra, like, holiday candy. So obviously you can buy candy just for, just to make this if you want. So in here we have some flour. 2.5 cups, I think. 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour. We're going to add baking powder and salt to that and get it mixed in.
Okay, there should be 2.5 teaspoons of baking powder and a teaspoon of salt.
Yep. He did all the mise en place for this, so he's measured everything out and gotten everything ready while I was making him some breakfast. So he has more or less memorized the recipe while he was getting it together. So we're testing him as we go to see how much he remembered. So all you have to do is get that mixed in a little bit so that you don't have all the baking powder or salt in one spot, and kind of aerate the flour a little bit. Once that's done, we'll set it aside. Yep. And now we'll move on to the wet ingredients.
So we got 2.25 cups brown sugar.
You want to go ahead and add the oil so that'll...
Oil, 1 cup of oil. I mean, I kind of have a measuring cup. It's pretty easy.
Yep. So we're using vegetable oil. You can use any kind of neutral flavored oil, canola, whatever you have is fine. I wouldn't use something with a strong flavor like an extra virgin olive oil or anything. Just something nice and neutral.
What about the eggs?
We'll get those mixed in too.
Now?
Yeah, whatever.
4 large eggs is pretty easy. 4 yolks, 4 eggs.
And what else is in there?
A teaspoon vanilla. I forgot. I added it.
Yep, just to keep things simple, he went ahead and put the vanilla in with the eggs. So now
instead of getting the whole new little cup.
Yep, we just got to get that all mixed together. You got to use your muscles. So this is our favorite base recipe for blondies. We've used it in several different kinds of recipes. I believe we've made a video with doing it with like Easter egg candies, like the mini Cadbury eggs and peanut butter eggs and stuff. We've done a cookies and cream version where we just put Oreos on top. I'm trying to think if we've done other versions or not. But this is, I love this recipe because it's super easy to put together. Since you're using oil instead of butter or anything, you don't have to cream anything, you don't have to soften anything. You just measure it and mix it and move on, which makes it super simple.
Okay, so it's all mixed. And I add the dry ingredients.
Yep, time to add the flour and stuff.
Basically flour only.
A little baking powder and salt. The baking powder is what makes it not be like a brick when it's done. It's a little bit of air in there.
What?
Oh my goodness.
At least it's not as big of a mess as it was.
All right, so while he's stirring that, here's our candy that we're putting in. You can literally add just about anything. So today we've got some Snickers, some Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, some Reese's Pieces, some
Any candy,
Whoppers,
basically.
some Milk Duds. Excuse me. A little bit of everything. So again, we went through and kind of cleaned out his candy stash because it was starting to be
This is about
way too
Valentines
much.
was coming around, so we're like, we better get it.
Yep. He's pretty good about not eating it all at once, so it tends to hang around a little bit. So this is a good way to
So do the wrappers.
use some up. So do the wrappers. He's not the best at throwing away the wrappers. We found a lot of empty wrappers in with a lot of the candy.
Meaning that's what made up most of the volume, that's what made up most of my candy volume.
Yeah.
The wrappers. Empty wrappers.
How's it going over there, Muscles? Did we get a good angle on it?
This is like a dough now.
Mm-hmm.
Like a cake. It's like a hydrophobic layer around the side, like it won't stick.
Uh-huh. It's a pretty impressive word for you to know. You know it?
No.
Do you know what the opposite of hydrophobic is? Hydrophilic. That means it likes to go to water. So is salt hydrophobic or hydrophilic?
Hydrophobic.
Salt doesn't like being in water.
Yeah, it doesn't. Does it?
It dissolves pretty easily, though I don't know that being soluble and being hydrophilic are the same thing.
She doesn't know.
Yeah, my degree's in chemistry, but that was a million years ago.
Probably only like 20.
Yeah. Feels like a million.
Not saying she was a chemist. Not counting those years.
Yeah, not counting the years I worked in a lab. That's... Oh, I'm sorry. Did you want to pour it?
No. I'm only counting the years. How many years it's been since she got her degree in college.
Yeah.
Not saying she used it for the next like 5 or 10 years.
Yeah. I mean, I still work in the industry, but not in the lab.
Basically, she used to be the one who takes stuff from where she works now, but now she sends stuff to the lab.
Yep, now I send stuff there, and I used to work there, huh? I send lots of samples now, but don't do a whole lot of testing on my own. Just little easy stuff. And then I get huge reports with all the information on it instead.
Instead of giving the huge report with
Yep.
all the information on it. So she's basically doing the opposite of what she used to do.
Yeah. Okay, now that we have our batter in the pan, we're going to sprinkle all the goodies on top.
Just like that. But more.
But more. But wait, there's more.
This is kind of fun. Just getting to put millions of pounds of candy.
Mm-hmm. And it's fun because every piece is a little tiny bit different. There's quite the mix of stuff in there.
Yeah, that's what makes it fun. Every piece is different if you put more than one thing.
Mm-hmm. And I've made this recipe several times. I've made it for family dinners. I brought it to, when I worked at the lab, I brought some there. I've brought some to work now at City Hall, so they've always been a hit. These have never lasted long whenever I brought them anywhere, so.
Or if you've just made them and brought them to our own house.
Yep. I mean, the three of us Would take a little bit to eat the whole pan, but we could probably do it if we had to.
Yeah. Not like we would have to.
No.
Because it'd be like we'd want to.
Yeah. You could always freeze the extra. I know this makes a big pan. You could cut it in half if you wanted and bake it like in a 9x13. Otherwise, just freeze some squares for
Really,
later.
we're supposed to be using 3 cups of candy, but
Yep, we're just using whatever we have, huh?
whatever looks right is right.
Yep.
I mean, ours is basically just a sheet pan of candy on top of a sheet pan of dough. You just gotta get all that little crumb.
Mm-hmm. That's all good stuff too, isn't it?
So good stuff, it can't go to waste.
All right, now we'll put this in a 350-degree oven for about a half hour, 30 to 35 minutes. We prefer ours a little bit gooey, so I'll go on the low side of that, and we'll be back to show you what it looks like when it's done.
Bye for now.
See ya.
Whoa, we're back.
We're back. Our blondies are done. And he's about to eat it already. Nice and soft. Brown sugary goodness. All right, so again, this works with pretty much any kind of candy bar or chocolate eggs or I don't know, chocolate bells, chocolate reindeers, chocolate pumpkins, whatever kind of holiday candy you have left over. Chop it up, throw it in, and bake it to deliciousness. What do you think? All right. Well, if you have some extra candy lying around, whip up a batch of blondies. It's perfect for a party or potluck or pretty much any anything where you need a sweet. I don't know what's going on around here anymore. All right, guys. Well, thanks for watching. Again, if you want the full recipe, there's a link to the printable recipe card below, and we will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.
2 thumbs up plus 2 thumbs up plus 2 thumbs up